Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. And today I have another haul. Yeah. I don't know what order I'm posting some of these videos in, but I have both a romance haul and then just a non-romance haul. This is the non-romance haul these are books that I've picked up for quite a while. I think it's February and March stuff. Yeah. So let's just get started. The first book that I want to share with everyone is my first Owl Crate book. I really like the theme for March, so I finally pulled the trigger and went ahead and subscribed for Owl Crate. And the March book is Four Dead Queens by Astrid, Scholte. I don't know very much about this other than it looks like in this kingdom there were 4 queens that are all killed, and now we've got to figure out what happened and figure out who did it and get them, probably. I really like the cover here. Like the red is what they changed. Owl Crate does an exclusive cover with all their books, and then it is always signed by the author. Here's the signature. So I thought that was really neat, and I liked all the stuff that came in the Owl Crate box. So far so good. Another book that I picked up, actually I picked this up a while ago and I'd forgotten to haul it, but it's A Heart in a Body in the World by Caletti. And this is a book that I've actually heard several people on BookTube talk about, and it looks like it's a bit of a dark book because it deals with sexual assault and then how this one young woman deals with it, and she deals with it by starting to run, and I think she's going to be running like across the country, and then I think it's who is it? Is it her grandfather, or there's a family member who is going to accompany her, so it's her way of dealing with the trauma. So it's a heavier book, but it sounded really interesting. And everyone who I've heard talk about it has really said it's really good. So I am looking forward to reading this when I'm in the right mood for it. The next book I bought is The Cheerleaders by Casa. So this is about a cheerleading squad where like all the cheerleaders start dying in different ways, but something's probably happening, right? And so it's about trying to figure out what has happened, and I think the main character we follow is the sister of one of the cheerleaders that died. So it started kind of creepy, kind of good. Like I love creepy, so we'll see how this one is. The next book I picked up will be great for my reading French literature series. Although it's not, well, actually it's not French literature, but whatever. The next book that I bought is Enchantée by Gita. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but since the title's in French, I thought I would put a French twist on it. So this is set in the French Revolution and follows a young boy, I believe. And there's magic in here. Oh, it follows a young girl. Is it a young girl? Camille. Yes. And so you're following her story through the French Revolution. And I teach the French Revolution, and I've been looking for fiction that is set in the French Revolution, and I thought this would be a good one to take a look at. Love Magic Revolution is the tagline up here. I'm like, sold me, I gotta buy this book. The next book I picked up, I also have an e-copy of. This is the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart, Turton. This looks really fascinating. I first heard about it from Emily over at Books with Emily Fox, I think is her channel name, and it's about this. Someone is killed, and our main character every day wakes up in a different body, and he's got to piece together what happened, who killed Evelyn Hardcastle. I love this kind of story. Yeah, I purchased it in ebook when it went on sale on Amazon, and then Barnes & Noble was doing a huge sale of books, and I saw this was pretty cheap, and so I picked it up in physical copy. Just, I don't know, to have it in case I want to read it. Because lately, whenever I find a book, like an audio or ebook, I've been falling in love with them, and then I like don't have the physical copy and can't, you know, proselytize and make all my friends and family members read it. So it was on sale, so that's my excuse. All right, a few more books that I purchased. I purchased The Passage by Justin Cronin. I had actually checked this book out from the library, and it's so big and intimidating that I didn't pick it up, and I had to renew it several times and still hadn't started reading it. And then I saw it at my used bookstore, so I just bought it. I was like, let me just buy it because I want to read it. It's like a post-apocalyptic book with like, what was it? It's either zombies or vampire type creatures. So I don't know. It sounded really interesting, and I want to get to it. And so having the physical copy of it, I think it's better. So I could return the one from the library and just, you know, let this one stare at me until I read it. Next book I purchased was Tasha Suri's Empire of Sand. This is a fantasy. I think it's set in the Ottoman Empire. I think it is. I don't know too much about it other than it had some really good reviews. It looks super interesting, and I was like, I don't know, I'll have to do a little bit exploring with this book, but it looks really cool. I'm really into fantasy right now, so once I get to this, I'll let you know what I think. Then I picked up Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. A bit of a controversial book. People that love it really love it. People that don't really don't. So I love controversial books. So I picked it up, and we'll see what I think. This is a story about assassins, I think, right? Yeah, a school of infamous assassins. So I'm down with assassins, you know, as long as they're not trying to get me. Next up, I picked up Robin Hobb's Assassin's Apprentice. Looks like this is a trilogy. I don't know too much about it other than it's a fantasy, and a lot of people really love Hobb, and I had a coupon at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, what the heck, let's pick it up. So now I have it. The next three books are really special to me. These are books that I bought used. I found them at the used bookstore, and they are from an author I really, really love, Simone de Beauvoir. I've only read her nonfiction, though, The Second Sex. If you haven't read The Second Sex and you're into feminist writings, you need to. Simone de Beauvoir is, like, she wrote that book in 1946, and it wasn't widely read until the 60s and 70s, and when you read it today, it's like it still speaks to us today, which is really incredible, and also shows how little society has changed as much as it has changed. I found all these three books, her works of fiction, at the used bookstore. So this is a very Simone de Beauvoir. This one's a very easy death. Yeah, I think it looks like it deals with a main character who is struggling with or dealing with the death of their mother. I'm not going to read this right away. It hits a little bit close to home because right now my mother is dealing with the illness of my grandmother, and it might hit a little close to home. But yeah, the next one is The Blood of Others. This one is set is it in World War II? Or yeah, it's set in occupation France, which is one of the eras that I study. This looks really good. And then finally we have When Things of the Spirit Come First, which is set in 1930s Paris. These are time periods I really, really love that Simone de Beauvoir lived through, so I'm really interested to read her fictionalized take on it, because I know it's based on, at least in part, on her experiences in France during this period. So, and she is a writer that has had a profound effect on me, both personally and also academically. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to these they look kind of heavy, so probably will not be picking them up right now, but probably in the next few months, because I'm really excited about them and having found them at the used bookstore. So that is it. I can finally put all these books away and organize some stuff, and I might need more shelf space, which is the constant struggle of, you know, bookish people. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these, if I should move them up in my TBR and all that fun stuff. But I will see you in the next one. Bye.